Awesome. My name is Susan, and what we're here for is I'm going to have you tell me the things that you use on your phone, and I'm going to be observing you. And this interview is going to take, I would say, about 20 to 30 minutes, and it is going to be recorded. So I will need you to sign this release form.
Sure.
All right, great. So first off, I want to thank you for participating in this interview. And again, the point of this is that I want to understand and learn how you use your phone, and what features you use on a regular basis. And I want to kind of understand what features are working really well for you, and what features you wish were there that aren't there, and also any areas that might be frustrating for you. And the reason why I'm gathering this information is that we're trying to improve the mobile experience, and we're trying to understand how users actually use their phone. So this will help us understand that. So as you're showing me things, I want you to kind of talk out loud, and that will help me kind of understand your thought process. And do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
All right, awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You can start with your name, what you do for a living, and so forth.
My name is Evan Moore. For a living, I've been a front-end web developer. I specialize in JavaScript, HTML5, responsive design, and as of recent, I've been exercising my experience with usability and UX and things like that. I've been in this field now for over 10 years, and I feel pretty confident in my skill level and professionalism.
All right, awesome. Now, do you have a family?
I do, yes. I have two beautiful children. One is Ella, and she is 2 years old, and the other is Spencer, and he's 5 years old, and my wife's name is Jessica.
And could you tell me if you have any hobbies and what they might be?
Some of my hobbies include, what are my hobbies, actually? I like to mechanically learn how to, I want to say these are hobbies. I like to, here, how about this? I do like to shoot video, capture it, edit it. I do that very often. I do it so often I'm running out of space. And I wish there was a solution for having infinite video space, because it's definitely going to be a problem as we continue into this digital world. And let's see, what else? I do enjoy strategy games that kind of keeps my mind wired and tactful, so that I'm constantly feeding my my critical thinking. So those are some of my hobbies.
All right, awesome. And how often do you use your phone in a given day?
I probably use my phone as much times as I'm breathing air, it seems. Very often, extremely often.
And how many hours in a given day is your phone with you?
It's with me everywhere, by bedside, in the car, obviously.
So would you say 24 hours?
24 hours, yeah.
Okay. So based on that, I think we know the answer to this question. Is your phone something you can live without?
No, I feel actually scared when I leave without the phone.
Okay. Could you categorize the top 3 things you use your phone for?
Communication.
Okay.
General mobile app information, news, things like that. And just activities, games and such. Those are the 3 big things I use it for.
Okay. And would you categorize yourself as an early adopter?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, awesome. So you had mentioned the top 3 things you use your phone for as communication, mobile apps, news, and then also activities such as games. Could you show me specifically, or could you talk specifically about the application? So for communication, what application do you specifically use the most?
Sure. My application I use for communication is probably my iMessage.
iMessage,
Mhm.
okay.
I text more than I pretty much phone call.
And in regards to mobile app, you mentioned news. What
Mhm.
application do you mostly
Yep.
use there?
My communication on that is Google News. I read that all day long.
Okay, and in regards to games?
Clash, Boom Beach, some pool games.
Okay. So could you show me, can we walk through how you use these functions? So let's start off with the first one.
Okay.
And you mentioned for communication you use iMessage.
Yes.
So show me an example of how you, use iMessage.
Sure. So when I turn on my phone on my home screen, I'll probably have some missed messages. Right now, I do not have any missed messages. If I had missed messages, I would swipe it, and immediately I would be able to type. I really like that feature. Gets me in and out, and then I'm done.
Now, is that a feature that is automatically there, or is that something you had to set up?
It's automatically there.
Okay.
Okay. So for communication, should I continue on the communication piece?
Yes.
Okay. So also in the communication, when I'm in an app, okay, anywhere app, I'll get a notification as well, and I can't live without that as well because that tells me an action is required for me to take. And so I'll again continue my communication there. Then of course when I'm in okay, so that's pretty much a lot of my communication for the iMessage app, but I can go in more detail if you want.
Okay, so why don't you show me, you talked about being able to get your missed messages.
Mhm.
You talked about the fact that you get notifications where you're required to take an action, and you're able to do that even if you're in other apps. So show me an example of you utilizing iMessage.
Sure. So I don't have any missed messages right now, but I would, if I had a message for me to write, I would have to go to the Messages app manually, like I just did. I opened my phone, I put my finger here, and it launched it. And it, excuse me, that's Siri. Come on, Siri, turn it off. I'll open my app, go to Messages, and here I'll have my messages, and it'll have missed messages. And what's nice about this feature is it communicates with people who aren't on iMessage. I can communicate with other devices with this, so it simulates everything in a single app, and it's really convenient. And that's just why I like it so much. It's just so convenient. I use it more and more. So here I'm talking with my friend Jake, and I can easily send him a message. Testing a message here. It has autocorrect. I really like that feature. I'll hit send.
Now, I noticed that you are typing the message. Do you ever use the audio?
You know what? I don't ever use it.
And why is that?
I don't want people to hear my voice. If I want them to hear my voice, I'll call them.
Okay.
And so, let's see.
Now, is there a capability currently in iMessage for you to do your audio and have it converted to text and send that?
Not with iOS. That would probably be an interesting feature. I wouldn't trust it. I've tested something in the past, and it would be incorrect, and I don't want to. I want perfection when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's bad enough that we have, spell check, that autocorrect that doesn't always work, and I can live with that. I'll give that the curve, but I won't do, voice to text just because I can't rely on it yet.
Okay, and tell me about what is there anything about iMessage you wish was there that isn't?
Goodness. Yeah, so when I'm interacting with my apps, when you get a notification, it will auto dismiss. And I'm not a fan of that, because what happens is I now miss the message, and I have to literally stop what I'm doing to go find out what it was that I just missed. I just wish that the notifications did not auto dismiss. I want to dismiss them, and that makes it really actually inconvenient for me. It's
Because
just
you have to stop what you're doing and go
Exactly,
find the
exactly.
message and find out whether or not you wanted to dismiss it.
Exactly, yeah. And then once I find out it's actually nothing at all, I'm like, well, dang it, now I just lost whatever I was doing, which I now can't get back.
Okay, well, let's go to the next app that you discuss, which is utilizing your mobile apps such as News, and you mentioned specifically Google News.
Yes.
So let's take a look at how you use Google News, and how do you get to your Google News on your phone?
So on my Google News, what I do is I go to my news folder.
And that's something you organized yourself?
Yes, I organize my news folder. I have lots of news apps, but Google News is my most favorite.
And why is it your favorite?
It just the more I use it, the more it likes me. It just seems to aggregate better articles, almost like a I don't know, a custom news station on the television. Anyway, so and it makes me use it more because it gets better and better. It's in a way it's almost biased. So I'm going to go ahead and open my Google News. And basically what happens is I read my top stories, and it's usually about politics. And that's something I'm interested in as of late.
Did you have to tell it that you were interested in politics, or is that something that it just delivers and learned?
It just delivers and learns it. I can't explain it, it just does. And then I scroll down and I look to see what's happening in other sections. I don't like to remove everything because I feel like if I remove too much, I'll miss out. So I kind of let it do its thing. It seems to get I seem to interact with it more and more if I don't mess with it. It kind of aggregates itself. But I do scroll down to the technology section, and I do hang out in there. You would think I would probably organize this higher, but I don't have an issue with how it lays it out. I just kind of scroll, look.
Are you able to organize it the way you wanted if you wanted to
Yes.
change it?
Yeah, I can go over here to my settings here and edit functionality, wherever it is, here, the plus symbol. I can add topics and move things around. Let me see. Do you want to see some of that?
Sure.
Let me see if I can do it. Spin it a little bit. Change edition. Nope, that's my English. Hello. It's weird. Hold on. Plus symbol. How do I add more? Okay. Add topic sections. Here we go. So now I can look up something like Boom Beach. Let's just say. Hit done. And now I have a section I created called Boom Beach, and it aggregates all data for that topic. Now, how do I get back here? There, scrolling. That's where it's at. So I can scroll through my content just like that. That's the best I can give you.
Okay. And in regards to how you look up the information, do you simply scan
Yeah.
the topics, and then if it's something you're interested in, you drill down? If I'm just trying to understand, like if you're reading something and you're really interested in it, but you don't have time to read it, is there a way for you to save it so that it's available later and you don't have to search for it?
So I find that if I read the headlines, however, the image is very important as well. If the image does not convey, for example, it says here, rare sand tiger shark nursery found in Great South Bay. Now, I'm not interested in that topic. But if that image was more interesting, I'd probably click it, but the
Okay.
headline wasn't. If I were to save this for later, I've never really done that before. I don't think it has that feature in this app, but I have seen it. I would probably use it only to share it with someone if it was really nice. That's the only reason why I'd probably save it for later. Okay.
But it currently does not have that function?
Yeah, I've never seen that. I don't think so. Not in this app. No, I don't see that. No, but I've used it in other apps. But this is
All right, so let's go to your third app, which I think you mentioned you use it for games, and
Okay.
you specifically mentioned
we can
Clash.
Do, so we can do Clash. We can do Boom Beach. It's probably a little easier. So what happens is I'll open the app and loading screen, wait for that, and then it's just going to tell me my status of where I'm at in the game. And I'll look to see how much in-game currency, and I'll just say, oh, okay, I have X, Y, and Z, and I'll collect what it's asking me to collect. And then I'll see what's upgrading. If anything's available for me to upgrade, if something's finished and then something's available for me to upgrade, I'll upgrade it. And I'll check to see, if this is a good time for me to play or if I'm too busy. The idea here with this game is for me to spend about 5 to 10 minutes tops and get out. I don't really have any social integration with this one. I just kind of get in and get out.
Is that 5 to 10 minutes a day?
No, I'd probably say about, for Boom Beach, it'd probably be, actually it's probably about 20 minutes every, I want to say every 3 or 4 hours. I don't really play this often, but I chime in and I chime out. Yeah.
And why did you pick that game? What do you like about it?
Because this one is slower, and I like that it's less aggressive. It's kind of like a more relaxing game, but it's still strategy. It has a kick of strategy, but it's slower.
Okay, so let me talk about your phone from a holistic perspective. What do you do if your phone is dead or as it dies? The functions that you utilize on a regular basis that you've mentioned, are you able to use these functions on another device, such as a desktop or an iPad?
iMessage, yes, on my Mac. That is really convenient. All my messages will go to my Mac. And I feel it's just very convenient.
And is that a desktop, laptop?
Yes, that is a laptop.
Laptop, okay. Okay, and what about the Google News? Is that something you're able to also access on another device?
I will use it as a normal website on my browser.
Okay. But it does have the same content?
Correct. I've signed into my accounts.
Okay, and is the experience very similar?
Yes, it's exactly. Well, yeah, it is 100% similar. Just
Okay.
bigger.
And in regards to your games, do you ever play your games on another platform?
These are just exclusively mobile games. There is no desktop version.
Okay. Does that bother you? Is that a problem?
No, it's not an issue.
Okay, and is there anything you wish you could do in any of those platforms or even on your phone that you currently can't?
No, I'm pretty content with everything that it does.
And if you ever need help in regards to, the different platforms or your phone, do you know how to get it?
Yes, I will. If I get an error message that prevents me from doing something, I'll search Google for what this error message is.
And is that how you predominantly get help, is through Google search?
Mm-hmm. Apple Forms is usually where it takes me for my support.
And when you go there, do you get the solution you're looking for
Yeah,
all the time?
all the time. I'm very self-service that way. I don't have to call anyone.
Okay, and if any of those platforms that you use were suddenly missing or no longer working, what would you do?
If my Google News wasn't working, I'd get a new app.
So you would just go and reinstall the app?
Excuse me, what's the question?
So, for instance, have you ever had a situation where the app stops working or it's just not loading properly?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do in those?
I restart my phone. If that doesn't work, I'll delete the app and reinstall it. If that doesn't work, then I will then go to Google and see if and start looking up the issue I'm experiencing. That's what I do. I'll self-service myself, and then I'll reach out for help. I'll debug it first.
And how do you find out about new features?
I find out only if I'm curious. I will go in the App Store and look to see what the new features are.
But are they ever delivered to you? Are you ever notified?
Yes, I will sometimes be notified. Many times I dismiss them because I just don't care until I need to know. Like, if there's a new feature, it's like, oh, what's this? Then I care. Otherwise, I'll just ignore them.
Okay, and then you mentioned that sometimes you do get a notification that does entice you to try it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about it that entices you?
Curiosity. How would this better my lifestyle?
But is it the delivery? How is it delivered that makes a difference?
If the presentation was more elegant, and I don't have to, and it's not too long to read, perhaps, I will interact with that information, but rarely. Rarely that it is that way.
And if you had a magic wand, what feature or function would you wish for in any of those platforms, or for your phone or the platforms?
Sometimes this could be asking too much, but sometimes, actually, I would say all the time. I think what's happening is we have application overload, and I wish there was a way that I could customize some core experiences to my standards versus a machine trying to figure me out. So my most critical apps, my most top 10 apps, I wish I could just have some kind of consumed location of that stuff when it comes to notifications, when it comes to information. I don't know how to explain it.
I think,
haven't.
But let me see if I understand this. There are certain apps that you use on a regular basis, and you would like some type of consistency so that the personalization is the same.
Yes, correct.
That's kind of what I heard, so I just want to make sure.
No, that's good. That's
okay,
good.
awesome. And I think we're done, and I just want to thank you so much for your time. Do you have any questions for me?
No, this was great.
Okay, well, here's a small token of my appreciation, and I hope you enjoy it. And I just want you to know that your input has been very valuable, and I hope you have an awesome day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.